Hey guys, it's Lena here. In this tutorial, I'm thrilled to introduce you to the Boss EXCITER-104, a professional-grade exciter effect designed for everyone, from beginners to mastering engineers. The Boss EXCITER-104 is a meticulously crafted software emulation of the legendary Aphex Oral Exciter hardware, whose main function was to enhance clarity and presence without significantly increasing peak output. It specifically emulates the Type C2-104 variant, known for exciting both low and high frequencies, setting the professional standard. Unlike an equalizer which boosts or attenuates existing harmonics, the Boss EXCITER-104 uses diverse processes to create new harmonics, producing results unattainable through standard equalization. It adds detail and presence to everything from vocals and basses to drums and final mixes. With exclusive settings introduced by our team, the Boss EXCITER-104 sound palette can achieve extreme results beyond the hardware version's capabilities. Exciter section is designed to add clarity and sheen by generating additional harmonics. Harmonics determine the amount of harmonics produced by the exciter. Frequency specifies which portion of the high-frequency spectrum is affected. Mix sets how much of the process signal is fed back into the output mix. Wet mix in the output section sets the balance between the processed and unprocessed signals. At the minimum knob position, the exciter produces soft harmonics ideal for vocals and full mixes. This is the normal position in the hardware unit. At the 3 o'clock position, you reach the hardware's maximum setting, which is particularly effective for percussion instruments, horns, guitars, and synths. At fully clockwise, the exciter surpasses the hardware limits, delivering even more extreme results. Note that in the hardware, this setting is discrete, offering you just 2 positions. These extra controls expand the sound palette significantly. This section also includes visual feedback to help you adjust the effects with precision. The visualizer displays the spectral content of both wet and dry signals. The grayed out graph corresponds to the dry signal. The on-off toggles the processing section on and off. Solo, when enabled, isolates the process signal of the selected section for solo monitoring. Frequency determines the cutoff frequency of the filter, mirroring the main panel frequency setting. Resonance amplifies the frequencies at the filter's cutoff point. Stereo controls the stereo width of the exciter. The slope adjusts the exciter's saturation, influencing its character and tone. This continuous control ranges from a half rectifier found in the original hardware to a full rectifier, enhancing flexibility and sound shaping capabilities. As its name suggests, the big bass section compresses and excites the low-frequency range. Feed some audio with low-frequency content such as a kick or bass, then use the following controls to determine which frequencies will be affected and to what degree. Drive controls the strength of the big bass effect. The drive LED indicates when the right threshold input level for the compressor to work is reached. Frequency determines which portion of the low frequency range is affected. Mix sets how much of the processed signal is fed back into the output mix. Wet mix in the output section sets the balance between the processed and unprocessed signals. The big bass produces harmonics through processes such as distortion and feedback compression. The higher the signal amplitude, the stronger the harmonics these processes will produce. The drive LED serves as an indicator of when the signal begins to be reshaped by these processes, helping you find the perfect sweet spot. These extra controls expand the sound palette significantly. The visualizer displays the spectral content of both wet and dry signals. The grayed-out graph corresponds to the dry signal. The on-off toggles the processing section on and off. Solo, when enabled, isolates the process signal of the selected section for solo monitoring. Frequency determines the cutoff frequency of the filter, mirroring the main panel frequency setting. Resonance amplifies the frequencies at the filter's cutoff point. Polarity inverts the phase of the big bass when activated. Saturation adds extra saturation to the big bass section. Mono enables the following mono modes. Big bass sets the big bass process signal to mono, and all bass sets both processed and dry signals below the cutoff frequency to mono. The big bass and exciter signals are summed at the output stage, where dedicated settings allow for dry-wet balance and overall level control. Wet mix sets the balance between the processed and unprocessed signals. Level adjusts the effect's overall volume. Extreme settings may boost the perceived level. Use the level setting to compensate for this increase. Whether you set the wet mix for a subtle or fully wet effect, like when used as a sand effect, this setting can be overridden when switching presets. Enable Wet Mix Lock to maintain the wet mix balance while browsing presets. Positioned at the end of the audio path, this two-band EQ affects both the wet and dry signals. It features low and high shelf filters respectively, with their frequency settings influenced by the big bass and exciter's frequency controls. This equalizer also serves to either boost the signal further or compensate for volume changes introduced by the exciter, ensuring a balanced output. So that's a wrap-up. Remember to experiment with different settings and listen carefully to how each adjustment impacts your sound. Thank you for joining me in this tutorial. I hope you found it helpful and informative. Happy mixing. See you soon.